didn't even know if I wanted to continue there anymore or play at all. So that was a hard time for both me and my family.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Just Soccer. Andi Petrillo here with you. And yes, I have a very special guest today, one of the brightest young stars in Canadian soccer, Olivia Smith. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It is so great having you on. And I want to walk down memory lane a little bit before we look at what's going on with you currently, because it's a moment that everyone is still talking about, which of course was at the time that record-breaking transfer. How did you process that move and all the attention that came with it?
Yeah, it was absolutely unreal. Never would I have dreamed that I would become the first either. So it was a big decision for me and my family. Obviously, I've moved quite a lot within the past couple years. So I'm hoping this is where I'm going to stay for a little bit. But yeah, it was really exciting. A lot of family messaging me, teammates, supporters, everything. So yeah, it's a great experience.
It's always fun watching a Canadian's rise, a journey. But you also brought up a really important point, which is at some point you want to find a home and you
Mhm.
want to create that consistency. So do you feel a little bit like that chaos is kind of behind you, but at the same time you're like, yeah, but that's also pro sports. But is it now about trying to find that continuity with the club?
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, football's unpredictable. But I feel like Arsenal is a place for me where I want to stay. There's so much more for me to learn, an environment for me to grow, to learn from world-class players in the best league, also to be playing in Champions League consistently. So, yeah, it's a big opportunity for me, so I'm hoping next couple years at least.
Well, you made quite the first impression, quite the arrival, because you scored a spectacular goal in your debut. What do you remember about putting that ball in the back of the net for that? Did you just blank out? Was it like, can
I
you
mean, all I had to
talk me
do
through it?
Yeah, all I had to do was I had quite a bit of space in front of me, looked up at the goal, just went for it. And like I couldn't have pictured it any more perfect. It hit side netting. Don't think
Mhm.
any keeper would really save that. So yeah, it was
Yeah.
memorable for sure.
But I like how you make it sound like, nah, it was right there. It's like easy because anyone else, that thing's getting toe punted over the ball. Like, you know
Yeah,
this,
fair
right?
enough. Yeah.
So this is good. This is really good. How would you describe the way you've changed from that player who was just getting started to where you are now? Like, what changes have you seen in your game? Maybe it's a mentality thing. How have you grown?
I think I've definitely grown a lot as a person, and I think a lot of people can say that. Matured quite a bit. In terms of my game, I felt like at Sporting I was still quite raw. So I think going into England, I was able to sharpen up quite a few things, learn more things to add to my game. Um, More strength, physicality, fitness was massive coming into England.
Mm.
So those are definitely areas where I've improved, and also just as a person, becoming more mature, living on my own, further away from home. So yeah.
That's another good point that you bring up, right? Just the physicality of it all, because your skill set is there. It was obvious right from the get go with the
Mhm.
national team, where a lot of people were introduced to you. But then, like other players who had been around for a long time, it's like they knew you were new. And it's almost like they made a point of trying to bulldoze over you. So, do you feel like you have grown strength wise, physical wise, to give it back maybe a little bit too?
Yeah, I definitely think physical, but also mental. For the most part, I'll take it as a compliment because I know what I'm capable of, and really the only way to stop me is to foul me.
Mm.
And mentally, just trying not to let it get to my head and immediately rush up to someone and like I don't know, lose my head. So I think for the most part, I'm able to stay calm until it gets to maybe 6 or 7. Then I start
Yeah.
losing my head a little bit, but still maturing in that sense, so that's okay. But yeah, for the most part, take it as a compliment.
Think people understand if it starts to get to that number for sure.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, I get to the outsider. I always say this when people always say someone's become an overnight sensation. I'm like, tell me an athlete who's an overnight sensation, and I'll tell you that's the first because you don't exist. There's no such thing as overnight sensations. You're working
Mhm,
your tail off from the start, and people will look at your career and go, "Oh, look at this trajectory. It's so awesome." But I'm
mhm.
wondering if you did have moments where you thought, "I'm not going to make it," or "This is kind of tough to push through." Did you ever have those kinds of doubts or feelings?
Yeah, there's been a couple, honestly. Definitely a couple hard moments. For example, I can give you one, was not being called back into the national team for what, maybe about 2.5 years. And it was tough being at a young age, hoping to get another call up, not knowing why I haven't been called back up. And I was just wondering, what am I doing wrong? And then things at my club weren't going great. I'd gotten suspended and all this stuff. So mentally it was really tough, and I didn't even know if I wanted to continue there anymore or play at all. So that was a hard time for both me and my family, just trying to navigate that. And then eventually I just moved out of that environment and found somewhere where I was happy. But yeah, there's definitely been a lot of ups and downs, but that's just one example.
Yeah. Who got you through it?
My family, my mom and my dad and my sister were big
Yeah.
pieces in that, just trying to keep me happy. Meanwhile, everything else was going on in the background, but what they could have done outside of the football world, just supporting, giving love, yeah, distracting me.
I love it. All right, so you lived across Europe, and as you mentioned, for such a young age now, you've been away from home. But if there's one thing about home you miss, what is so Canadiana? Where you're like, this is what every time I come back home to Canada, I need this.
That's a great question. This is like, I feel like it's really cliche, but like proper maple syrup.
Yeah.
And like
Legit,
I've
legit.
done no, like I've done like an interview, or I've done like media stuff when I was away on camp with Arsenal, and I was so shocked that there's no maple syrup to go with pancakes. Like they'd have honey, but no maple syrup.
No, girl,
So like I did an
that's
interview and they
abuse.
brought me proper maple syrup, so I was so happy. So I'm all
Well,
stocked up.
at least they fixed the problem. Okay,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
all good now. Let's have a little bit of fun here, as because culture seems to always, blend in with sport, which is awesome. And Bend It Like Beckham too, by the way, very
Yeah.
excited about this, is
Hmm.
officially happening. And you've talked before about how this film inspired you. So please hold. If they were to cast an Olivia Smith in the sequel, uh,
Oh,
what? So first of all, what would your story arc be? And I wonder, like, who you would think would play you.
oh, that's a great question.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously I'd want Zendaya to play me because it's Zendaya. But is she an
that's pretty
athlete?
cool.
Maybe not. But anyway, that's not the point. I'd have
She was
Zendaya
in
play
some
me.
tennis film, wasn't she? I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, she was. Um, I think like the backstory of it all would essentially be like having to move club to club, rejection, but finding a way to work past that to, you know, find, for example, like my sporting where I really flourished, if that
Hmm.
makes sense.
It does, because that's real talk. Again, that's real
Yeah.
talk. That's like, this is the
Yeah.
sporting world. It's
Hmm.
not awesome all the time, ups and
Hmm.
downs, and you just stick with it.
Yeah.
It's been great watching your career so far. You are not even close to hitting your ceiling. It's so
Not
excited.
yet.
Yes, to see where you can go, and really appreciate you taking the time here on Just Soccer.
Of course. Thank you.